that, we are able to share experiences as well. No man is a reservoir of knowledge. And because this is a virtual session, everyone has one information, one knowledge or experience or the other that will be very helpful to the conversation. So would like to welcome you and also thank our facilitator, Dr. Adiola Essien, who will be taking us, for this session. So specifically, I would like to encourage us to keep an open mind, listen, and when it's time for the Q&A, engage very constructively and very practically so that by the time we leave here, we'll be able to say that, yes, the time we spent here was not in vain or was not a waste. So thank you very much. And I would hand over to Tochukwu. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Isabella. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to join my senior colleague to welcome you to this very important knowledge sharing section. And without wasting much of your time, she has already said everything. I would like to go to the next item on the agenda. So I would like to very respectfully invite Dr. Adiola Essien, the managing consultant and director of AD-ESS Complete Solutions Limited. So we kindly share her profile so that the audience will understand the caliber and the quality of information they expect in this very important, session. Dr. Adiola Essien, FCA, is a highly experienced business development consultant, entrepreneurship educator, and management trainer with over 30 years of cross-sector leadership, spanning finance, food system, hospitality, agribusiness, and enterprise development in Nigeria and West Africa. She's widely respected for her ability to design, scale, and sustain businesses through strong governance, sound financial system, and people-centered leadership. A fellow of chartered accountants and certified international trainer, Adiola combines deep corporate experience with academic rigor and development sector expertise, working with corporates, MSMEs, universities, NGOs, and government partners to deliver measurable impact. She holds a PhD in entrepreneurship and business management at Atlantic International University, USA, Master of Art, Leadership Studies at International Leadership University, Kenya, an MSc in Indigenous Knowledge and Development from the University of Ibadan, an MBA in Cultural Economics from the University of Ibadan. Dr. Adiola Essien is currently the managing consultant of AD-ESS Complete Solutions Limited, providing consulting, training, coaching, accounting system, designs, compliance, and business development services to corporates, MSMEs, and development programs. Please, I want all of us to welcome him to this very important event and be prepared to tap from her wealth of experience. Dr. Adiola, we're pleased to welcome you to this session.
Thank you. So, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Tochukwu, I can take it from there, right? Okay, let me share my slide.
Hello, Isabella. Are we online?
We are online.
Thank you. Thank you, Isabella.
Can we see my slide?
That's very
Perfect.
clear.
Thank
Very
you.
clear.
Good morning,
Good morning.
DG, NECA team, and Tochukwu organizing this morning. I welcome every one of us to this session. This very necessary session at this point in Nigeria as a business and entrepreneur. This is a knowledge sharing session for NECA Southeast team. And it's very relevant because a whole lot is happening with reforms and responses from entrepreneurs and all that. I want us to pay attention. So we'll pick a few things from here today. I believe we're all going to learn together. So this presentation is going to take us quickly through all of this introduction, session objectives, why government reforms, what's the need for it, what's the current business environment like, why does it matter, formalization, why is it important? So what are the pillars of business compliance or formalization? What are the benefits? There are misconceptions. We are going to discuss that here this morning. And there is a cost to informality. Many people don't think so, but there is. We'll see that this morning. How then do we maintain compliance at minimal cost? Then we'll talk about NECA and the numerous benefits of membership. Then we'll conclude. Staying formalized in a challenging business environment, benefits for small businesses. The reality of the Nigerian economy is uncertainty. Regulatory changes, financial constraints, rising costs, increasing competition, and emerging growth opportunities. Many people don't see the last reality, but we're going to see it here this morning. MSMEs are the significant business people in Nigeria, with almost 40 million businesses being MSMEs, making up about 97%. 97% of businesses in Nigeria are MSMEs. Those of us here today and several people out there across the nation. And MSMEs contribute 46%, almost half to the GDP of Nigeria, meaning that if Nigeria made 2 naira, MSME contributed 1 of the 2 naira. These are facts that I want us to keep in mind and understand. MSMEs also contribute to employment. About 88% of employment in Nigeria are from MSMEs. But the contribution of MSMEs it's only 6%, just 6%. Why is that so? We are going to be looking at some of the details here today. And of the MSMEs, the micro businesses, that is the informal businesses, there are about 97%. Of this 97% of MSMEs in Nigeria, 97% of them are also micro businesses, informal businesses. That's why this gathering is important here this morning. And only 3% of MSMEs are the small part of it, small and medium. Small and medium, the rest are 97%. So it's important that we pay attention here this morning and understand that while the business environment continues to evolve, formalization remains one critical tool that most people do not understand, that there are tools that are available for business growth, resilience, credibility, and long-term sustainability of our businesses. So it's so important that we talk about what it means to make our businesses formal, why it is important, not just for government revenue, more critically for opportunities for our businesses. So by the time we finish this session today, we will understand a little about the current business regulatory environment. We'll appreciate some benefits of formalization. We identify opportunities that are available to registered businesses. There are numerous opportunities that only registered, formalized businesses can tap into. We'll address some misconceptions about formalization. We'll look at practical ways to minimize the cost of compliance, and we'll explore the benefits NECA offers us as a group of businesses. Why reforms? Reforms are important for the government to position the economy. A strong economy is a chain reaction. And a government that does not have data cannot give us a strong economy, no matter how much we protest. It's important that we understand this and know that as we are protesting, we should do what is right. So these reforms were informed by the need for data. Only data-driven economies can survive and grow and support the businesses. So the government is reforming, that's the way to go. And we need to support government in that way so that organized private sector organizations like NECA can help us to grow our businesses. Understanding the current business regulatory environment. I'll just go through a few things that has happened through the tax and fiscal reforms that we are implementing as we speak. The first thing is the expansion of the formal economy, of the formal sector. That is, people are being encouraged to formalize their businesses. And we see responses as CAC is moving from hundreds of registration daily to tens of thousands of registration, which tells us that we are moving in the right direction. These sessions help to improve revenue generation for government, and it reduces dependence on oil revenue. It improves the ease of doing business and strengthens investors' confidence and supports our diversification. If we have data and we comply and formalize, the economy is going to be strengthened. But there are concerns. Entrepreneurs are concerned. They believe that there will be increased requirements, compliance requirements, multiple levies and taxations, complex obligations that people may not understand, high cost, and documentation and reporting burdens. But I tell you that this reform has actually made things easier if we understand what we need to do. So a few points from the reform is the consolidation of tax administration. Before now, federal agents can be asking you for levies and taxes. State agents may come and ask you for the same levies and taxes. Then local governments will join and come and ask you. But with this new implementation, it's not going to be like that. They have consolidated the administration, and it is now managed by NRS, National Revenue Service, which replaced the Federal Inland Revenue Service. And they are reducing the paperwork by moving us to e-invoicing and automating the system. And that will help a lot of people and save us from harassment. There used to be a lot of harassment. Bring your papers, bring 10 years bank statements, you have to print them and all of that. This system is eliminating that. And the oversight has also been harmonized by bringing the Joint Revenue Board in place of the Joint Tax Board. So they now oversee federal, states, and local governments, which were not under the joint tax before. And for dispute resolution, we now have the tax ombudsman, which acts as an impartial arbiter. So when we have complaints, we have somewhere to go now, and they help us to resolve the issues amicably. So for corporate tax, one of the key benefits is that corporate tax has been reduced from 30% to 25%. So when people are talking about these systems and the biases, they don't remember to talk of the benefits. One key benefit is that corporate tax has been reduced from 30 to 25%. And that is significant. For people who pay big tax, they understand that is significant. So let's look at other benefits. Small business relief. Before now, it's you don't pay tax if your income is 25 million naira and below. But now it's moved up to 50 million naira. If your turnover is 50 million naira and below, you don't pay tax. You are exempted from income tax and withholding tax and VAT on essential goods are zero rated now, while public transportation and rent are also exempt. It's important for us to understand this and how it will affect our businesses as MSMEs. And they are broadening the tax net, helping people to come into the tax net so that people who earn big can pay big tax and vice versa. On the other hand, also, individuals that earn less than 800,000 naira are also tax exempt, which is also a key point for our employees. They are improving the ease of doing business. Yes, because before now, VAT input and output were not matching. But now, we can match VAT from assets that we use for operation, and we can also match VAT on our inputs into our businesses. So this mitigates our increasing cost, and so it helps us minimize costs that we pass to customers. And the government also introduced economic development tax incentive. The goal in all is to have a transparent, predictable, competitive regulatory environment that will encourage compliance and drive investment and deliver shared prosperity to all of us. So why is it important to formalize? It is where we're going. Why is it important to formalize and remain formalized? Because the experience is that a lot of businesses that were formalized before, they are now deformalizing. Let me use that word, which is not supposed to be the case, because now is the time to formalize if we understand the reason for formalizing. One key reason to formalize and to remain formalized is that it gives our businesses legal protection and recognition. Formalizing gives our businesses legal protection and recognition. Access to finance. It makes us eligible to bigger contracts. It helps our businesses to grow and scale. It enhances reputation and credibility, trust. It improves the ease of doing business, and there are several tax incentives and benefits that we can get by remaining formalized. So remaining formalized is not just about compliance. It is indeed a strategic decision that unlocks opportunities beyond what you can think. It builds credibility and secures long-term growth. So it's important to formalize if we have not formalized, or remain formalized if we have been formalized. So formalization is not just about registration. Yes, I've registered with CAC and that's the end of it. No. No, there is more to it. But before we go to the details, I want us to ask ourselves this question, the big question. If an opportunity of 100 million naira comes up now, are you positioned to take it? Do you have what it takes to take it? Is your business formalized? We see on the left, informal businesses. And what are the barriers? No registration. Informal businesses are not tax compliant. They have no financial records, little or no financial records. Many don't have business accounts. They do business and put the money in their personal accounts. As such, there's no credibility. But if you are formalized, you are registered, you are compliant, you have bank accounts and credibility, you can easily access this opportunity. So formalization, again, is not just compliance. I need that to sink into our subconscious as business people. It is the key to unlocking your next level. That's your business. Are you ready to unlock your next level? Formalization is the route, is the way to go. So now, what does formalization or compliance, what does it entail? CAC registration, tax compliance, financial records, business banking, industry licenses, and corporate governance. In broad terms, that's what it entails. But I want us to look at what we require to remain formalized, to be formalized. Beyond registration, we need to maintain valid registration records. Number one, we need to file our annual returns to CAC every year. If you don't file your annual returns, you are not formalized. So once we register, we are obliged to file our annual returns every year. We are obliged to report company changes, notify CAC of any changes in your registered office, director, shareholders. You are obliged to notify CAC. That's what keeps you formalized. You are obliged to declare persons with significant control. As you are running your businesses, people are buying in and all of that, you must declare persons with significant control. So we are also obliged to maintain proper financial records. Proper financial record is required for everything, anything that we are going to do that will move our businesses forward. It's required by the banks, it's required by CAC, by investors. Proper financial record is very critical. And we must meet our tax obligations. We must have our tax identification number and file tax regularly with the Nigerian Revenue Service. We need to find out details of the tax applicable to our businesses and have calendars for them and file them as at when due. That's what keeps us formalized. So we can have tax clearance. A lot of organizations that we may want to do business with, they request our tax clearance. So it's important that we have it to keep us formalized. We must comply with sector-specific requirements. There are sector-specific requirements. For example, if you are in food business or drug manufacturing business, you need NAFDAC to give you some approvals. So across the industries and sectors, we need specific requirements. You must also get them. That's what keeps you formalized. And we must operate through recognized business structure, corporate governance. This helps us with organizations that we are intending to work with and to grow with. So what are the benefits of formalization? What are the benefits? They are numerous, but we'll run through some within our time. I start with access to capital and funding. Many MSMEs in Nigeria do not have access to funds. Many, only single-digit percentage are able to come near it, and many don't go through it. Why? Because they are not formalized. They are not positioned to. So number one, formalization unlocks finance. There are a lot of opportunities and intervention funds that we can access. But if you talk to MSMEs, they are telling you that it's a lie. Oh, they are only giving it to their families. No, we went there, they didn't give us. But have you asked yourself whether you met all the requirements? And the requirements, if you look at it, is basically being fully formalized. That's the requirement. And the part is CAC registration. When you have the registration, you open your corporate bank account. You keep your financial record, you are tax compliant, and you are credit worthy. So if you don't have all these things and you go to the bank and say, now give me BOI intervention fund, you are not credit worthy. They will reject it. You will say they are not giving you, but look inwards. Are you prepared and ready to access finance? It's important to formalize to build a financial track record that strengthens borrowing capacity. So what are the funding opportunities that formalization can unlock? Can unlock bank loans, commercial bank. There are several government grants and support programs. We have BOI funds. We have the MSME development funds through the CBN. We have equity investment. We have trade finance, venture capital, and several others that we can have access to if we are formalized and properly documented. And the bottom line is the more formal your business becomes, the easier it becomes to attract funding. So that bank that they are not answering you, when you formalize and follow this and go back there, they will respond to you and answer you. So formalization gives us access to capital and funding, which is a major challenge for MSMEs. So now we understand that the challenge is coming from lack of formalization. And I will encourage us to go the route of formalization to be able to access funds. So that's the funding channel, funding readiness, investment readiness. It's all based on formalization. The next advantage is access to markets and growth. And this is also significant. It's also significant. If you are intentional about your business, many people are just doing business to make ends meet, to eat or whatever. But if indeed you are intentional about your business, you have to consider formalization. You have to consider formalization. Access to markets and growth. Registered MSMEs can access export markets if they formalize their businesses. Now we can export any and everything. We are exporting snacks that many years ago you cannot imagine that you can put it through export. But it's happening now when we are doing things properly. Can access government contracts. The rules of government contracts makes room for MSMEs to participate, but only if you are formalized. Corporate supply chains are only going to work with formalized businesses. Multinational companies will only work with formalized businesses. Trade and distribution organizations will only work with formalized businesses. We also have the AFC CFTA trade opportunities. The e-commerce platform will not register you if you are not formalized, and you cannot go into strategic partnership if you are not formalized. So now I want to hear our voices. I need the participants to tell us their experience with access to funds and access to markets, whether when they were formalized or not formalized. Please indicate so I can. Volunteers, please. Are we there? Are we there? Tochukwu, am I still here?
Can hear you, ma.
You
Can
are.
hear you.
You are.
Okay. So I need volunteers to contribute to this. The house is too quiet. Share experiences. I have gone to the bank before and they refused to attend to me or said they cannot give me the loan I wanted. Is there anyone like that? Or it's not happening in the Southeast? It's only happening in Lagos. Volunteer, please. Let's move on. I need volunteer.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Velax Food.
Thank you, Ma. My name is Chinyere Suji, Velas Global Limited. We are the Technology Incubation Center, Enugu. I formalized my business. Then I didn't know the reason why it was the night. But by the time I started interacting with people, joining ecosystems, joining groups, attending seminars and workshops, I understood that without my business being formalized, properly registered with CAC, I cannot do any meaningful transaction or business with anybody or any organization. And over time, we've evolved from just an enterprise, a business name, to a limited liability company recently. And that way, we've been able to assess the first we've been able to assess funds through grants, because if you're not formalized also, you might not be able to access them. So since our formalization, we're able to access grants and other opportunities. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Did anybody?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Osuji. Thank you for sharing that experience. Can another person share experience with access to market? You were not formalized before, you were formalized, and then you were able to access markets, export markets, multinationals, and all that. Another volunteer, please. Just one more volunteer for this. It's important that we share these experiences. That's
Can I
why.
speak again?
Yes, Madam Osuji, thank you.
Okay. Um,
Wow.
market.
Your voice is cracking now. We're not hearing you now.
Formalization. I have products.
Yeah, she's out now. Any other volunteer? Let's share our experiences. That's the essence of knowledge sharing. Please, I need another volunteer. Access to market. Please share your experiences to encourage us to formalize, because that's the way to go. That's the way NECA will be able to help us. That's the way our businesses can move ahead. So share how your businesses have moved so others can benefit. Just one more volunteer. Thank you. Without not wanting to embarrass anyone, I'll call some people. Opowo Chikudi, can you share your experience, please?
Good morning, ma.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, I've been enjoying your teachings this morning, and it's just hitting direct, the basics of business is just formalization. My name is Dr. Nneka Chukwuemeka. My business is located at Unit 11 TIC Enugu, and a council member of ASIMA. Well, when I started my business, I didn't formalize immediately. I remember in one of the shops I went to supply, what the owner of the outlet told me was that he looked at my product and said, "Where is your NAFDAC?" I said, "I don't have NAFDAC. And I don't have CAC at the moment too, but I just used a name which I used in branding my label. And even though the product was well packaged and looking very nice, he said, no, because you don't have NAFDAC. I said, okay. I went back and I now told myself I must have my. So because of that, I swinged into action, processed my CAC, and then my NAFDAC as well. Then at some point, I didn't know that you do filing every year. At that stage of my business at that time, I didn't know that you do filing every year. So it was just recently that I got to know that filing is what you do every year on yearly basis. So, and then by the grace of God, I've learned that and I'm on it now because I wanted to do upgrade of my product with NAFDAC, and they now say go and get your thing. I got my thing, they said it's not updated. So by the time I got back to tax office, they said you have not been doing your yearly tax clearance. So, and I got to know all of that. So I think all this formalization is just the key. It just gives peace to our business. That's how I'm seeing it. Is what gives peace. Like when you remember you have this business, you have this product out there, all this formalization and documentation gives peace to it. Thank you very much, ma.
Thank you very much, Engineer Nneka, for sharing your experience. It was a good one. Yes. So let's get back to the screen. Can you see my screen? Can you still see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm trying to get back now. I'm trying to get back to my. Okay. Okay, so we have shared the experiences. Thank you to Madam Osuji and Engineer Neka for sharing their experiences with us. And that's learning sticks. You will see that I'm not here to just reel out stories for you. I'm here to learn with everyone and to let us see the importance of this session that NECA has put in place. If there was a session like this, their experiences would have been smoother and they would have moved ahead faster. So this session is a privilege and we still appreciate NECA for this session. So that's the story about access to market and access to funding. Export readiness is very important, very important. E-platforms will not allow you on their platform if you are not formalized. And in the way the world is going, you have to be on the e-platforms for your businesses to move. The next benefit is credibility, protection, and sustainability. Formalization gives your business credibility. It protects your business. If you formalize your business, you are different from your business. So your asset is protected in case of any eventuality. Formalization gives you perpetual existence. Most businesses, especially informal businesses, die with their owners. Why? Because there's no structure in place. There's nothing in place for anybody to inherit to progress with. So it gives us perpetual existence, ensures succession planning, business continuity, expansion and franchising. If you are formalized, you can buy franchises or you can franchise your business. It helps you to expand your businesses. It gives you investor confidence and brand protection. When you are formalized, your brand can be protected. If you are not formalized and you are using brand ABC and people see that brand ABC is working, is moving, everybody will start using brand ABC and kill your business because you have no protection. But if you are formalized and you have registered and protected your brand, nobody can use it. Your brand will still continue to carry the goodwill. So there are exclusive opportunities for registered businesses. We talked about the BOI fund, the CBN fund. There's MEDAN programs, access to grants, capacity building opportunities. We have the Nigerian Startup Acts for technical people. You have tax relief and training support. We have export expansion grants. We have pioneer status incentive. You have access to NAFDAC SON approval. and government advocacy through the organized private sector. So that's how it works. People you want to supply to or buy from, they are more confident that they can do business with you. Business sustainability is very, very, very important. We see businesses in other climes of the world that will tell you that we are 100 years old, we are 80 years old, but we are not yet there. But the way path to that is formalization. And so once we formalize, we put governance and structure in place, we put succession planning in place, investment readiness, and we can generate wealth. We can transfer the businesses to our next generation in such a way that it will be sustainable. We have seen businesses transferred to the next generation that went down the drain. Yes, we have seen it because there were gaps. But if we formalize today, our legacy will be forever. Now, let's address some misconceptions about formalization. A lot of people believe that registration automatically means high taxes. Not necessarily. Earlier, we saw that tax rates came down. We saw the zero ratings on VAT that have been incorporated. So it's not always like that. Formal businesses face multiple taxation. Before, yes, but this new reform, that is being redressed. Compliance is too expensive and complex. Not really. We will look at some of the ways we can make it easy to work for us. Government only wants more revenue, and that's what most people think. But it's not like that. Government wants more revenue, yes, but government needs data to help us. They need data to make policies that will support MSMEs and make us move forward and establish the economy of this country. You agree with me that it is MSMEs making like 97% of businesses in Nigeria that can rework the economy of this country. And now there is no data to help that huge sector. So yes, government wants more revenue, but they need more information to help businesses to stabilize the economy of this country. Staying informal is better. It's not always better. In another slide soon, we will see the cost of staying informal. So the reality is that registration creates opportunities. And that's one thing I want to be ringing in our mind all the time. As we engage people with these misconceptions, it should ring in our mind, and we should also be advocates of letting them understand the benefit of formalization. Registration creates opportunities. Small businesses enjoy tax incentives, as we have seen. Reforms are simplifying compliance. This particular recent reforms are simplifying compliance. Former businesses access funding. They access bigger markets, legal protection, business growth, and sustainability. So what does formalization really deliver? Is it higher taxes, complex compliance? No. It delivers access to finance, business growth, export opportunities, corporate partnership, brand protection, tax incentive, and so on and so on. So let's look at the cost of informality. There's a cost to remaining informal, and it's important that we understand it. If you remain informal today, you will be limited to tomorrow. Top high-value opportunities are lost due to informality. You have government contracts, 18 billion plus, you don't have access to it. Even though the law, everything has been provided to make it easy for you to access it. Your business is struggling. You can't expand it through credit because you are not formalized. You cannot get investor funding. You can only be struggling with yourself and borrowing from your family and friends. There will be no export opportunities. Even when your product is so good, you cannot export it because you chose to remain informal. There can be no corporate partnership. And so you cannot grow, you cannot develop. And as such, it's not likely that that business will live beyond you. So it's important that we count the cost of informality. It's huge. It's huge. It's very huge. So I need us to make the switch, unlock opportunities for our businesses by moving to becoming formal. So now we want to look at ways that we can comply at minimal cost. The first thing I want us to look at is to be proactive. To be proactive. As business people, we need to be proactive. My sisters that shared the experiences came to the point that when I got to this point, I realized that because there is no one helping and propping us to know what should be done and what should not be done. And that is why I'm always proud of NECA, because NECA is helping, has helped, and will continue to help businesses. So we need to be proactive. Let's sit back, understand our obligations, and address them. We must be informed. That's why we go to government websites, newsletters, libraries, digital documentation, find out what is required. And NECA helps us by sending us details of requirements that we need to know and to pay attention to. And we must be secured, protect our data, our documents. So we need to know the way to go. And the benefit of all this is that it will reduce compliance costs, improve accuracy, strengthen our data security, sustain our business growth. So how do we build an entire compliance culture? We must learn to assess our risks early. As just said, be proactive, build internal capacity. Internal capacity doesn't mean that you are going to be employing more people. No, you are going to be developing people in-house, starting from yourself, the owner of the business. Because it's what you know that you can monitor and ensure that it happens at the right time. So establish a watch team. Have a compliance calendar. What I call a compliance calendar. Identify all your compliance requirements from CAC, from tax, from NAFDAC, excuse me, and any other organization in our industry that we need to comply with. Itemize what time, when, how we are supposed to be compliant, and highlight how we want to do it. So establish a watch team, leverage technology. In keeping records, you can leverage technology. There are cheaper softwares now that can help us to keep records without taking an arm and a leg from us. So let's leverage technology for our accounting, for our documentation, and for our reporting. And we must document and communicate. So have a compliance checklist, internal risk assessment. Employee awareness is important because everyone is involved in this compliance business. In this formalization business is everyone that's involved. Have that internal watch team that will monitor the regulations, analyze updates, track deadlines, and communicate changes across the organization to make it easy for us. So find the issues early, fix early, save money from paying penalties and all of that. So I highlighted a few practical tips. Keep basic financial records. track your income, track your expenses, keep receipts, maintain simple records, leverage technology. It helps for better decisions and easier compliance. Separate personal finances from business finances. This also makes compliance difficult because you have been putting your money in your personal account. Business When you go to the bank to access loan and all of that, what happens is that your record is not showing that you are doing so much business. And so we cannot give you so much money. So it's important that we separate personal finances from business finances. Remember, maintain a compliance calendar, embrace digital solutions, seek professional guidance. It's cheaper than paying penalties. NECA membership journey. There is awareness, application, membership, engagement, representation, and business growth. NECA helps us to connect, to learn. There are so many objectives of joining NECA, so many benefits. I believe that someone after this presentation will take us into more details, but we must create awareness for other businesses that there is NECA that can help us to ensure that we maximize our businesses, to minimize our penalties, to advocacy, and all of that. For proper representation, it's important for our businesses. So the power of unity is why we must join NECA. Since 1957, NECA has been helping thousands of MSMEs. One voice, limitless impact. NECA cannot understand their impact, but when we let others know, it will help everyone and we all become stronger together. NECA is one organization that can help to build the economy of this nation because they are working with us, MSMEs, which are 97% of businesses in this economy. In conclusion, you can see that the future belongs to prepared businesses. And so what does it mean to be prepared? It means to be documented, to be compliant, to be visible, to be investment ready, growth oriented, and sustainable. To be formalized is to be prepared. Formalization is not a burden. It's not a trouble. It's not a problem. It's a gateway to finance, contracts, partnerships, growth, and ultimately a gateway to sustainability of our businesses. So the question is, if a major opportunity becomes available tomorrow, will your business be ready? I want us to answer that question individually. Will your business be ready? Will your business be ready? If you are not sure, take action now. Become formalized. Join NECA. Tell others. And the future belongs to businesses that are prepared. Be prepared. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Doctor. This is quite educating and revealing. I know, I have no doubt that our participants actually gained so much from this, piece of what you give out, knowledge. Thank you very much. So if it were physical, I would have asked for an applause, but we can still do it online, please. Can we give her a clap? Can we give her a clap? I know it has a way of doing it through the Zoom so that we'll appreciate her. Thank you, Doctor. You quite did well. You did justice to the subject. And I know by the time they see, they get, hand to the document, they'll be able to read more and make more, advance their understanding. Because it's not supposed to end here. They're supposed to read the document and continue, to improve themselves on it. So without wasting much of our time, this is the session. Although she's been probing since, rightfully probing, asking for experiences, asking for questions. But this little time window is actually devoted for that. So I expect our participants to come up with their questions. Before now, I had dropped something in the chat box to say, okay, you can drop your questions there so that doctor can rightfully treat them. So you can still drop the question or you raise your hand and ask any question you feel is relevant to your organization so that as you leave here, there would have been take-homes that will help improve your business. Because that is the sense of this KSS. It's not just to listen, but to be able to deploy it, the knowledge learned, deploy it into your business to move forward. So please have comments, you have questions. If you can put on the chat box, you can raise your hand and we'll give you access to quickly say something. Thank you very much. Any question, comments, suggestions, all will be accepted. Questions, comments. Okay. Chizaba Benson, you have questions, comments, suggestions?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Hello? Hello? Any question? Do we take it that it's well understood and we know the significance of this session to our businesses, that we're going to take back what we learned, to our businesses in order to improve it? I tell you, staying formalized is the best thing. The opportunity is not just what you sell today. The opportunity is the growth for tomorrow. If you're not formalized, if you're not staying formalized, today you are compliant, the next day you are not compliant, how will that business grow? Businesses start from SMEs, from micro, move to medium, move to small, medium, and large. So without being formalized, how do you get those big contracts, those breakthrough contracts? How do you get them? Or is it when the contract calls that you start running up and down to try and put your papers together? Of course, they won't be waiting for you. Time does not wait for anybody. And time does not get angry. It will move forward. So this KSS is to prepare you so that you have those things that will push your business beyond boundaries towards growth beforehand. It's not when you have the opportunity to start running up and down. So if we'll take it that, okay, you picked up what the knowledge and you're going to deploy it, means we assume that there's no question. But if you still have some things, areas that you need clarity, you can just put it forward. And our doctor, very an intellect. You can see when we read her profile, she will quickly, do justice to it. Okay. So, doctor, I don't know if you have any last pep up for them, so that we'll move forward and try and wind up the program. It appears your delivery was well understood, and our participants are ready to take home what they've learned and deploy them into their businesses.
Thank you, Tochukwu. I appreciate those who shared their experiences, because those experiences actually drove up the points. But on the chat box, the people are asking the benefit of joining NECA and how one can join. I need someone from your end to deal with that before I say any other thing. Or how do you want it?
Yes, I will do that. Well, the truth is, joining NECA has enormous benefits. One of them is just this KSS. This KSS is free, and we've been organizing similar KSS for years, trying to educate businesses. So what we do after this program is to because I was about, during the vote of thanks, to ask your permission to contact you further. So normally we'll contact you further and organize what we call meet and greet. That meet and greet with you will enable us to explain to you what NECA is all about, the benefits, how to join NECA, and everything. It will take long. In the next 1 or 2 weeks, there will be that meet and greet that will still get to all the participants to this KSS, where we explain everything about NECA and how we can quickly join it. It's important. We're actually building, we're in Southeast now. The focus is to build a very strong group of SMEs, because there are international training come from international partners. There are a lot of things that SMEs in any state should know about that will help them to improve their businesses. So during that meet and greet, we educate you on how you can join NECA and what are the benefits and everything. So you join us and become our family, and you see how beneficial it is to be part of it. And I'll tell you that NECA is the only business management organization in Nigeria that protects businesses, that go any length to protect business. And then we take up litigation. If you are compliant, you are doing the right thing, and an agency is still bothering you, we engage them, even if it amounts going litigation to ensure we protect you. We go that length. We are political. We act. Our only focus is for businesses, to ensure enabling environment for businesses and to be able to protect our businesses. So I want to encourage you that the meet and greet will come up in the next 1 or 2 weeks, and we will come back to you, and expect that you join that meet and greet, where we explain everything on how to join NECA and what benefits are there for you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Tochukwu. So my final words will be this: for every one of us to remember that getting formalized and remaining formalized is not just compliance. More than it is compliance, it is a gateway to opportunities and to sustainable businesses, which I believe is the desire of every intentional business person. Thank you for your attention. I want to appreciate the DG and the NECA team and Tochukwu for managing this meeting. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Doctor. We appreciate you so much, and we hope to keep calling on you. You've always been a great support to the organization, and it's something we cannot, take for granted.
No problem. That's why
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
So to close the event, I would like to call on my senior colleague. She is the executive assistant to the Director General, Mrs. Bukola Odeshola, to give us a closing remark. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning once again, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me clearly.
Good morning.
That's very clear.
Thank you. Thank you. On behalf of the Director General of NECA, I would like to express our appreciation to everyone who participated in this webinar, the KSS. Most importantly, we extend our special gratitude to our resource person, Doctor, for taking time to share valuable insights and for doing justice to the topic. Doctor, we say thank you. We appreciate the efforts that you put in place to make this a reality for us. And I also like participants to still drop more reactions for Doctor. Let her know that we really appreciate the fact that she was able to put justice to the team. Thank you, Doctor. And like my colleague has mentioned, we appreciate your contributions, your commitments, and to all the support that you've been giving to the Secretariat, to NECA as a whole. And the fact that even during this section, you were able to lend your voice to membership drive, encouraging participants to be part of NECA family. And to all participants, we say a big thank you for making our time to join us today. And we trust that the section has been valuable and that you have gained useful knowledge and practical insights that you can apply in your respective businesses. And I know I'm speaking your mind. I know you've gained that knowledge. So I would also like you to like give me a kind of reactions for that. So just for Doctor to know that okay, she really did a great job here today. So before we close or before we call it a wrap for today, we'd like to encourage as many. I'm also joining Doctor, joining my colleagues, my colleague Tochukwu as well, for as many that are yet to be NECA family to consider joining us. And we would be delighted to welcome you on board. And our membership application form is also available. And if you need further clarification, inquiries, Tochukwu, I think you should drop your phone number in the chat box.
Okay.
And if you have the application form handy too, if you have the soft copy, we can also drop it in the chat box for anyone interested in learning more about NECA, or you want to be part of NECA family. So you can, so that we can reach out to you. You just reach out to my colleague Tochukwu as well. So from there, we'll take it up from there. He has also informed you about the meet and greet, where it's more like a platform where some of the questions that you have in mind about NECA will be answered. Okay, so we also like to use this opportunity to invite you to our upcoming events. Okay. So we'd like to use this opportunity to invite you to our upcoming events. And we just put the flyer up here. And one of them is another KSS that will be coming up on Tuesday, 16th of June by 11 a.m. And that is the International Court of Justice opinion on the right to strike. So if this is applicable to you, we're using this medium to invite you for the for the webinar. Also, for NECA is also known for a capacity building program. So we have our in-house training. We usually have open training as well, but this is one of the in-house training, and it's themed AI in HR strategy, transforming human resources through artificial intelligence. AI has come to stay, and we all need to we all need to involve with it. So irrespective of the sectors, the departments, we just have to run with it. So this is coming up 16th to 18th of June. If you need more information about it, we'll get it across to you. And we also have our flagship program coming up. Is the okay? The I want the summit, please. Summit. Thank you. Okay, so that is the fifth Nigeria Employers Summit 2026 that will be coming up 29 to 30th of June at Abuja Continental, Abuja. And the theme for this year is leveraging reforms and ESG for enterprise competitiveness and sustainable growth. Pardon. Okay, so and this will be coming up on the 26th, and we have the lineups of our keynote speaker and distinguished special guest of honor is no other person than our very own vice president. And we also have other lineup speaker special guests as well, where we'll be rubbing minds together. So we are using this medium to invite your organization to participate. And if you think that you can also participate through sponsorship and exhibition, we'll be gladly to receive you. You can also reach out to us, and we'll give you more details about it. We also have our ICT Academy. NECA has a ICT Academy, and coming up again is AI and 3D animation training, and it's a physical training. So if you have, I understand that this webinar is for Southeast, but if you have people around Lagos or Southwest as a whole who can attend this, it's coming up is going to happen in Lagos, and registration is ongoing. Registration is currently ongoing. The deadline for the registration is 15th. So we would like as many that are interested and that are within the age bracket of 18 to 35 to register for this event. All right. And at this point, I would also like to just say thank you once again for your participation. We look forward to engaging you engaging in the nearest future, and seeing you at our future programs as well. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you very much.